everyone, and welcome. I am back. Okay, so we are going to be covering the extradition hearing for Bryan Kohberger. It's going to start in about half an hour. I've got a few things up here. I think we may have some audio from inside the courtroom. I'm trying to get everything that I can for you guys. So bear with me. So, how has everybody been doing? Hello, Laura from South Florida. Spirit Moon, nice to see you. K. Mitch. Nam Klowski, hello, everybody. Cleta, Dawn, Shivani, Comptoot, Alicia, hello, everybody. Welcome. Kim from ZA, hello. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so I'm just today getting caught up on everybody. Hello, DJO, Tanya, Dawn, Kate, Catnap, Andy, or Artie's Fleetwood. Hello from Florida, Colorado, everywhere. Dawn, I don't have the puppy anymore. That's a long story. RL Boise, hello from Idaho. Okay, so what we do know, before I got drawn away from this, and I spent the last 4 days at the hospital, my daughter gave birth, so I'm back. I'm just getting all caught up today. Hello, Diana. So Bryan Kohberger, 28 years old, arrested in Pennsylvania at his parents' home. They do have the car. Now, as far as the car, everybody's been emailing me and everything. What are they going to do? Do they got the car? Is the car back in Idaho? I do believe that the car will be kept in Pennsylvania. And I believe the FBI, it should be the evidence response team there, will go over the car there. Hello, Julia. Hello. I do believe they will go over the car there. That being said, the reason that is, they're not going to chance putting that car, on a tow truck or on a flatbed or something and hauling it back to Idaho. Anything could happen, accidents, weather, anything could happen. They don't want to lose anything. They also don't want to open it up for the defense to say that something was planted there or done on the way from Pennsylvania to Idaho. So they're going to go over that car with a fine-tooth comb, and they'll be doing that in Pennsylvania. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. Now, with that, they're going to be looking for evidence in that car. They're going to be looking for identifiers, any blood evidence, hair evidence, anything that he could have transferred from the scene into that car. Okay. They have searched his apartment in Pullman, where he had an apartment. There, they took a lot of things out of there, you guys. They're going to get all clothing, shoes, stuff like that. They are going to be looking for any kind of evidence, any kind of trace evidence, as well as what was found at the scene. Okay, so I'm talking about 1122 King Road. They're going to look at like different soil, stuff like that he could have transferred from his clothes, his shoes to that crime scene, and vice versa. There could be soil samples that are in Pullman that aren't in that area, that should not be in that house. They've got a lot to go over, you guys. I've been saying this for a long time now. They have evidence. My last read, everybody, I had a lot of people jump on me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, it's adding up, okay? I did believe long ago the police had their sights set. Thank God for DNA. He had to have left some kind of DNA. We don't know what that is. There's a lot of speculation out there. There's a lot of rumor. There's a lot of crap. You guys, we know here I keep things verified. We don't know at this point what kind of DNA they got. We know they got DNA. We don't know where they got it. We know they got it inside of 1122 King Street. We don't know where inside of there. It could have been blood. It could have been fibers. It could have been hair. It could have been soil. It could have been anything. Okay. So with that being said, I'm letting go of all that speculation of people saying, oh, it was found in the bathroom. I've seen and heard it all. We don't know yet. Nothing's been verified. We will be getting that probable cause affidavit, and I will be bringing that to you as soon as it is released. It could be a little while, though, you guys. So what is going to happen now? What's going to happen now? He's going to have this hearing this afternoon, okay? Now, from what I have seen, verified information, Bryan's lawyer at first said he's waiving his right to extradition. He's going to agree to be extradited back to Idaho. Now, apparently, he has invoked his rights. So, is that still in play right now? Is he going to change his mind again? We don't know. We'll only know once he goes through this hearing in Pennsylvania. He's in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania right now. He's going to be going through a hearing for extradition. Like I said, at first he waived his rights to extradition, so they could have just extradited him right away. But apparently now he's invoked his rights to fight extradition. So let's see what happens. Nothing's been verified yet. We'll see what happens when this hearing happens. I am watching. We are supposed to be able to get some kind of audio from the court. No cameras are allowed in there, so I can't bring you that. But apparently we are going to be able to get some audio from inside and outside the courtroom. Okay, so let me see what I can get there for you guys. So far, I think I'm on a place where I can get the at least audio. Now, yes, that car is going to be searched from top to bottom by the FBI evidence response team, and that is going to happen in PA. I can almost guarantee you, that's not verified, you guys, but I can almost guarantee you they are not going to want a chance taking that car 2,500 miles back to Idaho to have it done. They're going to do it right there, and they're going to go over that car, and they're going to get what they can get from it, okay? They're not going to chance an accident. Anything could happen bringing that car back, okay? So what else? Now, what's going to happen today? He's going to go for this extradition hearing. If he fights it, it's going to take some time. If he does go back to waiving his right again, because he's now invoked his right to fight this extradition, let's hope that he waives his right again and everything goes as planned. If so, it'll be a couple days, I would say 24 to 48 hours before they may be there waiting to take him right now. I hope they are. We don't know yet. Now, once gets back to Idaho, he's going to have to go for a first appearance where they're going to have to get a lawyer on record. He's going to need time to speak to this lawyer. The next thing that's going to happen is he's going to be arraigned. Okay. Now, he lived in Washington. He took off from Washington to Pennsylvania, and the murders happened in Idaho. So what they're going to do with that, there's many state lines. Yes, just like Spirit Moon just said, there's many state lines that were crossed. We'll see what they're going to nail him with. Now, once he's arraigned, the charges are going to come from the grand jury, you guys. So we're going to have to give a little bit of time for this to happen. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to get this probable cause hearing. Probable cause paperwork. I hope it's soon, but we've got to let things play themselves out as the way they're supposed to be played out, okay? But that indictment is going to come from the grand jury. So another thing I found out that apparently from what the dad has said, this arrangement of him flying to Pullman and driving back with Bryan was apparently made. Those arrangements were apparently made at the beginning of the school year before the murders happened. Is that true? We don't know. That's just what Bryan's dad is saying, okay? He may be just saying that to cover his own butt. Luby Lou, we're not going to know exactly what evidence they have. They do have DNA. We know that. Where they got it, we don't know. So anything you hear out there that it's in the bathroom, it's in the bedroom, it's in this, is crap. We don't know yet. That has not been released. We will know when we get the probable cause affidavit. Okay? So let's stick to what we can verify. Hello, Susan, Kim, Running Grey Wolf. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody coming in. Laura Pendra, everybody. Hello. Now, what else here did I want to go over? Okay. Also, you guys, on his way when they left Washington to drive back to Pennsylvania, they were stopped twice in Indiana, once for speeding and once for a seatbelt infraction. NW Love says, do you believe he did this alone? Yes. I believe he was alone. And I've got to, you guys, you know me, I've got to fully have faith in my reads. And that's what, even the last read 3 weeks ago, if you guys haven't seen that, go check it out, because everything that's coming out now lines exactly up with that read I did 3 weeks ago. So yes, I do believe he acted alone. If they can prove, NW Love, that his dad had knowledge, absolutely he could be charged for accessory after the fact. Okay, so I don't know if you guys, let me just pull this up. I don't know what you guys have seen and what you haven't. The police are walking into the courtroom now, the ones that arrested him. I'm going to keep you guys up to date as much as I can here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tortitude. Yes, I got a little grandbaby, a baby boy, 7 pounds, 11 ounces, 21 and a half inches long. So thank you all you guys asking about that. That's where I've been MIA for the last 4 days. I've tried from my phone to stay up to date with this and keep you guys informed, but it's really hard to do from a cell phone, especially in the hospital. There's only certain areas I could use my phone. His name is Ivan. Okay, so here we go, you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be giving you what I get from audio here, because they're not allowed cameras in the courtroom. Thank you, you guys. Okay, so right now they are showing the door where they are going to be bringing Bryan through. So I'm going to keep my eye on this, you guys, and watch. They do have cameras outside the courtroom, you guys. But they're not allowed inside the courtroom. As they bring him out, you guys, I will show you that. I just can't show the whole thing. We're not allowed to steal other people's stuff here. So what I can show you, I will show you, but it's all going to be audio. So for those of you who haven't seen it, on my community tab, I do have a link where you can see him being brought to the to the courthouse. I just got to turn this down a bit. There's a link there where you can see him being taken out of the police van and being brought into the courthouse from outside. Okay, so there is a pool feed outside. So I will be showing you that when he is brought out through those doors. I will be showing you that. Okay, so apparently he is going to waive his extradition, changed his mind again. Well, there's some big dudes there. Okay, so I'm just going to let you guys know we are not going to share other channels' information, other channels' names, any kind of news outlets' names. We're not doing that here. What's that, NW Love? What does that mean? Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, reporters are going to be inside, but they can't have cameras. Thank you, thank you. He waived his rights to extradition again. At first, he had waived his rights to extradition. Then he invoked his rights to have an extradition hearing and whatnot. Now he's waived his rights again. What that means is he's not going to fight his extradition back to Idaho. Okay, so as soon as they bring him out, you guys, I will go over to that and share that with you. Okay, so what else can we? Okay, so also, you guys, what was also seen is the FBI followed him for 4 days before they took him down. And during that time, he wore gloves. Now, there was a lot of people who were in class with Bryan who also said that after the murders, he started acting more outspoken where he wasn't before. He talked a lot and shared a lot, I guess, within that little community or class or whatever they were in. But then when the actual Idaho 4 case came up, he became quiet and did not want to talk about it, didn't want to, share anything on it or give his opinion or anything. Now, what they are also saying is phone records have showed that his phone was in the same area as the victim several times. So I'm anxious to see, you guys, when this probable cause affidavit comes out, because my reads have said he parked up behind and then he did take off. I showed you the maps where I nailed it right down to Washington State University. I'm really anxious to see what else comes out and how accurate those reads actually were. Apparently, too, from people that knew him when he was younger, a lot of people that he used to be friends with defriended him because he became a bully. He always wanted to fight. He was on some hard drugs. He did box, took up boxing. So a lot of things, you guys, are really adding up. And I really understand, especially that last read that I did when I wanted to know about the perpetrator before we even knew who this was. This was 3 weeks ago. And the information about the perpetrator that came out in that last read is like, oh my gosh, it's like almost nailed him to a T. So I'm going to be anxious to hear how much of what these former friends and everything have shared, how much of that is true. Okay, I'm just listening here, you guys, because we have no video. We only have audio of what's going on inside the courtroom. Okay. I didn't know if that was him being called up but it was somebody else. So I am listening to what's going on inside the courtroom. I also have another one up here where I can show you him being brought out when that happens. But like I said, if you go to my community tab, you can see I've got a link there to Matt Blount Incorporated. He's got the video of him being taken out of the police van and being brought into the courthouse. Don't mind me, you guys. I'm having my second coffee of the day as I'm doing this. I've been rushing, went to the hospital, picked up my daughter and grandbaby to bring them home, and got back here as soon as I could to get this all set up. So bear with me. So we don't know how long it's even going to take, you guys, for the probable cause affidavit to be released. I'm hoping it's really soon once he's brought back to Idaho. And like I said, once I've got that probable cause affidavit, you guys, I will be going live and I will be bringing it up on screen so you can read along with us. And we're going to see exactly what they do have. Hello, Marie. Hello, Cat H. Hello, everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody there, but hello. So right now, he's got a public defender that is going to be doing this extradition hearing that's going to happen. Again, we have now got word that he is now agreed to waive his extradition hearing again. So it's just it should be very quick. Unless he changes his mind back to invoke his rights again, we don't know. Once this happens, he will be taken back to Idaho. I would assume, and I'm only assuming, you guys, if I was the police, I would be there waiting to grab this guy as soon as this hearing is done. But we don't know how long it's going to take. It could take a couple days to get him back to Idaho. Man, I'd like to be a fly on the inside of that police car or airplane when they bring him back. But so far, apparently he's been just sitting in his jail cell on the floor, facing a wall, looking at the wall. We don't have any information on that yet, Deborah. She says, Willow, is his family there? I would assume his family is there. They are sticking by him and saying that they believe in his innocence until he's proven guilty. I mean, that's not surprising. You know, they're going to stick by him until they can't, right? I don't know. I think that he is really just trying to be smarter than everybody else. I think I don't know. I'm not in his mind. I don't know. Okay, here he comes, you guys. Okay, I'm going to share this with you guys. I think it's this one. Okay, I'm going to make it big. Here you go, you guys. Let me make it big for you. And let's play it. Here he is being brought into the courtroom. There he is, right there. That's him. Walk of shame. There he is, you guys. And once he's brought into that courtroom, there he goes. We will not get any more. Okay, like I said, that is the court cameras outside of the courtroom. Right, you guys? Okay, so now I am going to go to the other where I've got the inside so I can hear what's being said and I can relay it to you guys. So what you just seen, that's the only place that the media was allowed to set up for visual. We are going to have audio from inside the courtroom, I hope. Okay, so they're still saying it's 5 minutes out. He really looked unaffected, like his eyes were big, and it's like, I really think that he thinks he's going to beat this, you guys. Hopefully, he does this, he agrees to the extradition. They can get this paperwork done, and they can get him the hell out of Pennsylvania and on his way to Idaho. But right now, the judge is all he's going to do right now, you guys, if he still waives his right, is confirm that he's waived his right. So it's on paper. Okay, so let me go over here and see if I can get somebody who's inside the courtroom. Just give me a second, you guys. Okay, so let me see here. Give me a second, you guys. Okay, so from what we're hearing right now from one of the reporters is the family does not believe it to be Bryan. They can't believe this. Um, Public Defender Jason Labar said they are obviously shocked. This is certainly completely out of character, the allegations, and they're really just trying to be supportive. So they don't believe that it's him. No phone. Okay. No phones, no electronics are allowed inside the courtroom. So all we are going to get is audio that is coming from outside the courtroom, and it's going to be given to us secondhand, you guys. So, okay, so even live tweeting is not going to be allowed. So we will only get this once it's done. So once that happens, you guys, it's all going to be out there. I will give it to you as it comes. So once this is over, I will have another video shot of him coming out of the courtroom. So I do have, let me just see here, you guys, see if I can, okay. Hang on, I've got something to show you here. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, so let me blow this up a bit so you guys can see it. This is in the District Court of the Second Judicial District of the State of Idaho in and for the County of Latah. This order governs courthouse and courtroom conduct and media activities that may be amended from time to time. And as you can see, this is in regards to Bryan Kohberger. The court is mindful of the need to balance the constitutional right of the defendant to a fair hearing, the public's right to information in conjunction with the constitutional statutory rights of the media to attend the proceedings, the court's interest in maintaining order and environment that permits all participants to focus on their responsibilities without undue distractions, the court's interest in the safety of the public and court personnel, and the need to follow all Idaho Supreme Court orders as may be changed or amended from time to time. With these factors in mind, pursuant to Idaho court administrative rules, courtroom seating and attendance, seating for victims, families, counsel, defendant, and court personnel. Certain seating may be reserved. Pooled media. The representatives of the media serving as pooled camera staff shall be seated in an area approved by the court as designed by the administrative judge, presiding judge, and trial court administrator or bailiff, subject to a limit of 2 media members operating the pooled broadcast recording of the hearing and 1 media member handling the pooled still photography. So that's what we've got. Let me see what else I can show you guys here while we're waiting. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Hang on. Okay. Okay, let me see. I can show you this. Hang on. Okay, it's on. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to tell you exactly what's being said because I'm just starting to get audio now. If this is done already, that was like quick. The other stuff that I was going to show you guys, I will show you after we get the audio from this. I'm just listening, you guys, so I can give you everything. Got my sound turned up so I can hear everything that's going to be said in court. Okay, so they're doing some housekeeping stuff, I guess. Let me share. I have to be ready for this, you guys. Okay, let me bring this back up again. Okay. Let me share this while we're waiting. Okay, so this is the police criminal complaint. Christopher Kohberger, Bryan. This is the address where he was arrested. Criminal complaint number is right here. Oh. Hang on. We got something, you guys. Okay, so they're talking about him signing the extradition paperwork. Okay, so he's in the hearing right now. Okay, so here it is here. He's 185 pounds and 6 foot. Okay, so he has waived extradition. He's signing the paperwork now. And that signature is going to give them the legal right to extradite him back to Idaho. So he is signing those paperwork right now. Okay, so we're going to try and find out once this is done. We're going to see if we can't get an answer as to when he's going to be shipped back and everything else. So that's going to come after this hearing. Okay, so here he didn't even sign this, you guys. He just gave verbal approval. And it says, in that, on or about the said date, the defendant having been charged with the commission of any crime from another state or having been convicted of a crime in another state and having escaped from confinement or having broken the terms of his or her ball, probation or parole, and having been declared a fugitive of justice from the said state, the defendant has been located within or has been believed in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So this is him taking off from Idaho or Washington. Okay, so let me just listen here. So the warden came forward from the jail and said that he's been a model prisoner while he has been held. So any rumors that people were saying he was going crazy and he was threatening people and exposing himself and all that stuff, it's all crap. The warden just gave information saying that he was a model prisoner while he was being held there. Okay, hang on. I think we got some action here. Hang on. It looks like they are getting ready. They're getting prepared to bring him back out. So he has waived his extradition, so he will be ASAP sent back to Idaho. Once he gets back to Idaho, there will be a first appearance. There will be a grand jury indictment. Okay, so here he comes, you guys. Hang on. soon as I see him come into frame, I will show you. He really believes that he's going to be exonerated, you guys. That's what his lawyer's been saying, and the family. I guarantee you this is going to be the last time he's in Pennsylvania, unless once he's, if he's found guilty in court, once he's incarcerated, he may ask to be sent to a state prison in Pennsylvania. We don't know, right? To be closer to family or whatever. We don't know what's going to happen. That's pretty far down the line. And we've seen in a lot of the cases that we've been following how long it actually takes sometimes to get this into court to even start trial, right? Hopefully, this is very quick. Hopefully, he wants to get into court really quick. But look at what's going on with the Daybell matter, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell and Letitia Stout and all the other ones. Like, he could very well drag this out for a long time. So let's hope that he doesn't waive his right to a speedy trial and that this goes to trial really quick. How would the death penalty work? It's probably going to be I can almost guarantee you it's not verified, but I can guarantee you they're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that is going to take it a little bit longer to get to trial when you're dealing with a death penalty case. There is no insanity plea in Idaho. I have heard news through the grapevine that they want an evaluation done on him. Nothing new, Looby Loo, on the Morphew thing. Nothing. Okay, here he comes, you guys. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here it is. They're checking all around to make sure the coast is all clear, that nobody can get at this guy. They're checking bathrooms and everything right now to make sure nobody's going to pop out and try and get this guy. A lot of security. Look at the security, you guys. There he is. It's a lot of big boys surrounding him. Okay, so that is it, you guys. The extradition hearing is over. Now we wait to see if we get any information on when he's going to be sent back. We are waiting for that right now. And as soon as I hear any of that, I will bring that to you. Hang on a sec, you guys. So that's what we are waiting on right now, to see if there is going to be any news on when he is going to be sent back. And that is coming out now. So let's see. You guys are very welcome. I wish we could have seen it all in court, but we've seen him go in, we've seen him come out. We know that he's waived his right to extradition. That's a done deal now. So they're going to be making arrangements. I'm hoping that Idaho or FBI, whichever, doesn't really matter to me at this point, that they are there and ready to take him as soon as that paperwork. I think he should be out the door and on his way back to Idaho before that ink even dries on that paper. But let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully, we get some kind of idea about how long it's going to take. Let me just listen in. So yeah, that was pretty quick. So I'm just listening in, you guys, to see if they are going to give us a timeline. So apparently he's asking to get back to Idaho as soon as possible. He wants to deal with this. He thinks that he's going to exonerate himself. Generally, it is done, Whitney, within 72 hours. But like I said, if there are FBI or Moscow, Idaho State Police, anything there that are waiting, they could very well have him. They're not going to give us an exact time that they're going to be taking him for security reasons, but they can generally give us, like, within the next 24 hours, he's going to be being shipped back. But they generally will not give an exact time because of security concerns, right? Somebody's going to want to take this guy out. Now, I don't know if they're going to fly him back, if they're going to drive back with him. I don't know how it's going to work. We haven't been told that yet. Jessica, we're not sharing what is being heard on other channels or whatever because I can't verify it. And I don't do speculation or anything like that. Unless I've heard it myself, I don't. Yeah, he won't be flown on no commercial flight. They may even decide to drive him back. Okay, hang on a sec, you guys. I'm just listening in, guys, to see what else I can get here to give you guys. So he's in the holding area right now. He's going to be taken back to the Pennsylvania Correction Center, and he's going to remain there until they get all the transportation stuff put together to transport him back to Idaho. Yeah, they're going to keep it hush hush for security reasons. Can you fly? People are saying fly him to Mexico so the cartel can take care of him. It's like, no, the family needs answers, right? I would assume too that they would fly him back, and I think it's going to be either private or they're going to be keeping him away from everybody else. That's for sure. Oh, it does look like he's got bulletproof vest on. And that sometimes, you guys, makes me laugh. Sometimes they put a bulletproof vest on him so he doesn't get shot, but nothing on his head. Like a headshot would kill him just as fast as a shot to the heart, right? So it's like, why put a bulletproof vest on him if you're not going to cover his and protect his head too? Not that he deserves it, but I'm just saying. He hasn't entered a plea or nothing yet, you guys. That's going to happen when he gets back to Idaho. He's going to have a first appearance. I believe he's already been indicted by the grand jury, so he's going to have a first appearance where his lawyer is going to have to sign on as representing him. If not, he will be given a public defender. He has to be arraigned. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Once that probable cause affidavit comes out, it's going to tell us a lot. Now, I don't even know if he knows what's in that yet. I don't think it's been released to anybody, because this lawyer here was just his lawyer for the extradition, and he was appointed by the courts. I don't think he would have access to that either. Grammy headshot is what counts. Yeah, it just seems useless. Like, if you're going to put a bulletproof vest on him, I mean, there's a perfect headshot right there, like, I don't know. Murray Burke's headshot. No, I'm just saying it's true though. Like, even when they took him out of the van on the sidewalk outside the courthouse and took him from the van and walked him outside to the courthouse to get in the courthouse, they have a bulletproof vest on, but his head was like fair game. So it's like, I just didn't understand that. No, I don't think Kate Bell, he's going to represent himself. Like, well, we're going to see how good he actually is, because any good lawyer knows if you're ever charged, you never represent yourself. Even as a lawyer, you don't represent yourself. We've seen many, 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 many times, and there's been a lot of times in Ontario here where Dellen Millard decided that he could be a murder rap or two or three, and decided that he was going to represent himself after he was found guilty on his first case where he did have a lawyer. He was found guilty, and then he had 2 more murder charges to face, and he decided he was going to represent himself. And it was hard to watch, because he got to cross-examine the people that he murdered, his ex-girlfriend's parents and everything, because he murdered his ex-girlfriend. He got to cross-examine them and everything, and the hell that he put them through was unbelievable. So there's a lot of restrictions too that they do put, especially if it's somebody that you were in a relationship with or very close to, or a family member, stuff like that. It gets very tricky. So no, I don't think he's going to represent himself. I think he's going to hire a lawyer. And it's I've worked in the legal field for over 30 years. I would not be able to represent one of my colleagues. So anybody that he has really worked with, anybody that has trained him, anybody that has schooled him, the disrespect that he showed to the legal community, and I'm talking about schooling, universities and stuff like that he's gone to and taken, all his degrees and everything at, he's totally disrespected, and it's not looked well upon. Well, let's put it that way. I want to put it in simplest terms possible. The legal community is not going to look on this as, hey, I want to help this guy and represent him. I think he's going to have a hard time with anybody that he either went to school with, who taught him anything. Nobody's going to want to represent him from there. So he's going to have to get somebody that he doesn't even know to represent him. That's just my opinion. Cricket. Hey, Cricket. Okay, Cricket is saying, now I haven't verified this, you guys, so I don't know, and nothing against you, Cricket, but to me, it's not verified yet because I haven't seen it. Like I said, I've been MIA for 4 days waiting for my daughter to give birth, but Cricket is in Pullman. She is not far from where Bryan Kohberger lived. And she says Ann Taylor, public defender from Kootenai County, is going to be his. Let me just write that down. Hang on a sec, you guys. I got something. Hang on. Let me just, I got something here for you. Hang on. Okay, so hang on a sec, you guys. I got something here for you. Sorry for the cough there, you guys. Okay, let me read this to you. Okay, Bryan Kohberger waived his extradition hearing. He had to sign a waiver in court. The judge explained to Kohberger the charges against him in Idaho and that he was voluntarily allowing authorities to transfer him to Idaho. Kohberger told the judge he is not on any medication that would impact him making the decision. The judge said he has to be sent to Idaho within 10 days. So they have 10 days to transport him. Kohberger came into court and made eye contact with his family sitting in the front row. So his family was there. He nodded at them. His mom cried and his sister confronted the mom. A deputy brought tissues. Let me see what else I can get here for you guys. Okay, let me see if this guy has said anything. Okay, so there's news and everything all outside, you guys waiting. Okay, so apparently he kept looking at his mom and sisters. So sisters. At some point he mouthed out something to them. It's unclear what he tried to say to them. That's a no-no, but he did it. He said he made the decision voluntarily, nothing more than, yes, I understand. Okay, so Ann Taylor, thank you. Cricket, you are correct. It is now here that Ann Taylor will be representing him in Idaho, and she is a public defender. We do know, you guys, that his parents over the last, I know in 2018 or 2017, no, wait. Okay, I know in 2020, and I know there was one before that, his parents filed bankruptcy. So I don't think they have money to get a lawyer. So he has been given a public defender. I'm looking for any more information on this dude. It looks like he is right-handed. That's going to come into play, I'm sure. But he is right-handed. And believe it or not, that is something that is good to know. Okay, so they're saying that some of the information that's coming out is he is, I guess the seeing him on camera isn't justifying it, but to his weight and that. But he's a big boy. He's 6 foot 185. I'm sure the prosecutor is going to say that the size of him, you know, he was physically able to commit these crimes. Oh my God, these people are going to no ends to dig up everything on his sisters. Like, I'm not into that, you guys. Let me just see what Matt has sent me here. Oh, thank you, Glamity. I appreciate you. Okay, okay, so let me just get this. This one. Okay, so apparently there is going to be, hang on, let me just read this here. Okay, so at 4:30 p.m., there's going Pennsylvania State Police are going to give a news. They're going to speak. Let me just hang on a sec, you guys. Okay, let me just get this up so we have it. Dang it. Get with it, Willow. Okay, hang on. I'm going to have to copy this. Hang on. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. This is the one I wanted. Let me just get it up over here. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me bring this up for you guys. What we do. Okay, you guys, please tell me if you can hear this. I can share this. Okay, can you guys hear it? I do have the volume up all the way. Can you hear people talking in the background, you guys? The one in the chat, if you can hear people talking in the background on this. You guys can hear the people talking in the background? Okay, so that's what we're waiting on. This is going to be a press release from the Pennsylvania State Police. Give a shout out to Matt. Thank you, Matt. Matt sent me the link for this. He is awesome. So that's what we're waiting on right now, you guys. We'll be able to hear. That's going to give us, yeah, there's a lot of background noise, you guys. Yeah, it's because they're not near the mics. Once they come near the mics, you will be able to hear them better. It's because they're back far away from the mics that are there. But as long as you can hear the background noise, you will be able to hear when they get to the mics, and it's going to be a lot louder because I got, as you can see down here, I've got the volume right up. Whoops, you can't see it. Yes, you can, right down here on the bottom, right under Glamadies. Thank you, Glamadee, again for your super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, so right down here, you guys, you can see I've got the volume right up. Yes, Matt is one cool dude. He helps me so much, you guys. He is just amazing. He gets a hold of a lot of things that I can't even find. So I owe him big thanks and big props. I'm going to let me just get his. Hang on a second.
Mic check for the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good.
Okay, so here is the link, you guys. Check him out on Twitter, you guys.
You're welcome.
He is awesome. He really helps a lot. He just got me the link for this. I didn't even know that this was going to be happening. Like I said, I've fallen so far behind being away for the last 4 days. Shivani says, Shivani, I always love your comments. You are unbelievable. Like, I really like your comments. She leaves a lot of comments on my videos, and I'm just amazed each time I read them. Okay, those two microphones kind of look like dancing mermaids. So thank you again, Matt. Please go check him out. I just put his Twitter up there, you guys. He's got a lot of good stuff over there, and he helps find a lot of this stuff for me. So I want to give him a shout out. Marie Burks, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you, thank you. Helps a lot, you guys. Helps to keep me going here. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. I try. Like I said, the last 4 days have been really hard. My daughter ended up having to go for an emergency cesarean because he just would not come out. He was just way too big. So they ended up taking her for cesarean. So I was kind of tied up at that hospital from Friday night on. Tried to do as much as I could for you guys from my phone, but it's kind of hard. A lot of places in the hospital, I wasn't allowed to use it. So, but I'm back. I'm back now, you guys. So we're just waiting for this press conference to start. This is from the Pennsylvania State Police. They will be letting us know what is going to happen. Now that Bryan has signed the extradition papers, he's waived his rights. So he will be being brought back. I am assuming ASAP. I think they want him back there and they want to get him in front of the judge there. Oh, great, Cricket. I'm glad you followed him. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sure he's going to appreciate that. He is also on YouTube, you guys, but he has taken a break from the YouTube streets. We know that the YouTube streets here, especially in true crime, can be vicious, and he just doesn't deserve some of the stuff. Okay.
Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1,
Can you
2,
guys
3,
hear the
1, 2,
checks?
3.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the guy doing the check. So thank you very much, Cricket, for giving him a follow. I think Cricket too. I did see your email, Cricket, and I will be staying in touch with you. Hopefully, if you don't mind, bring you up on panel. Like I said, she's close to the area and everything, so she's somebody that I'm going to really stay in contact with, and I really appreciate everything that she has sent me via email and her insight and that. So was anybody able, Cricket, to get to that area that by the dumpsters there that I gone over in my mapping to see if there was anything there? Like, I'm assuming if he did throw the murder weapon in them dumpsters, that would be long gone.
Do you hear me? Okay.
Okay, great. I'm glad you guys can all hear. Perfect. Yeah, I went back to using my old camera, you guys, because the new one I bought was just messing up really bad. Again, Marie Burks, thank you for your $5 super chat. You guys all started the super chat train. Thank you so much. Oh, look at, he's taking a picture of us. Say cheese, everybody. Missy, thank you, Missy. Thank you so much, you guys. Grammy, I would think that he wanted to get rid of that. I do still think, like you guys that have seen my reads, I do still think that he took something from Kaylee. We'll have to wait and see, right? I'm anxious to see this arrest affidavit, you guys. Really, really anxious to see it. But I have patience. Atta girl, Missy. Did you give him the good side? Like, we all have that good side that we like our pictures taken on. So dumpsters by Zoe's, but also dumpsters in front of the gas station. Oh, there was dumpsters there. Remember, we couldn't see it on the Google Earth. But I think that he would want to try and stay hidden. So I think the ones behind that coffee shop there, if that was closed, you said that's not open 24 hours. So if that was closed, I would think that he would have gone in behind to try and hide himself, kind of. But she says dumpsters by Zoe's, but also dumpsters in front of the gas station. The area has been snow covered, so couldn't see if something was thrown. Yeah, even that little embankment on the other side of the dumpsters there could be thrown down in there, because who would really go down there? You know what I mean? So it could be there too. Like, he may want that knife found at some point. There was also, you guys, somebody who said, oh, I sold him the knife. He came in and he flipped it open and he really liked it and bought it right away. Well, we know that guy, I think his name was Chris, is full of crap, because it wasn't a switchblade knife he used. So, like, there's all kinds of people. Did he take a body? No, I don't think he took a body part, Running Gray Wolf. I think he took, I was getting a piece of jewelry. So I don't know if it was a necklace or something like that, but I got it was a piece of jewelry he took from her. Yeah, the burglar is from entering 1122 King Street. The burglary charge was for breaking into that residence. Even if that door was unlocked, which I believe it was. Oh, where is the Dobermom? She sent me a picture, you guys. Let me see if I can grab it. Hang on while we're waiting here. Let me see. Let me grab that picture because I want to show you. Remember I told you, as far as I'm concerned, he went in that back door. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm going to put it up for you guys. Okay, so there is the picture while we're waiting for this. There's the picture. This looks broken to me. And this is the kitchen sliding door that I've said right from the beginning. That's where he went. He parked up behind. You guys have all seen my reads. Right from the second day after these murders, I said he parked up in that parking lot behind. He came through the forested area and went in that sliding door. This door, either he broke it or it was broken and did not lock. Thank you again, Missy. Thank you, thank you. It says, and parking in the back to put them into dumpsters at 4 a.m. would have been risky. The gas station is lit up on Main Road and would have stuck out. Okay. So maybe he just tossed it there, like pretended like, oh, it's not open, like to go through that drive-through maybe, and just like as he was driving through, didn't stop and just like tossed it out. Yeah, it looked like it was busted. Spirit Moon. It looks like it was busted. So he either broke that or it was broken before. We don't know. We'll only know once the probable cause affidavit. But I've always said he went in through that kitchen sliding door. Also, you guys, the screen that we were seeing outside on the ground, outside the kitchen window, that screen had been on the ground since they first moved in. So he didn't try and get in that window. I seen pictures of the backyard before the murders, and that screen was off and on the ground then. Amanda, you're so welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, he is a disgusting, sick human being. They will, okay, Tony Hale says, could have discarded clothes or gloves and maybe not the weapon. Absolutely. You are totally right. When they went to his apartment in Pullman, they took out boxes upon boxes upon boxes of stuff, you guys. Like I said, I want to try and get this all put together. Like I said, I haven't been able to get online and get all this stuff together because I've been at the hospital with my daughter. But I will get all this stuff together, put it into one video, bring up all the pictures so you can see. I've got other stuff too that I haven't really seen much reported on. So I'll bring that stuff up. Get your guys' opinions on it because your opinions matter. But they would have taken every pair of pants, shoes, everything from not only his apartment, but any belongings that he brought with him to Pennsylvania. Because even though they're washed and cleaned and stuff like that, they can still see blood. Or he could have just disregarded them, right? Discarded them somewhere. I believe that Murphy was in Kaylee's room with the door closed. Yes, the police are the ones. I did mention that before, that the police in one of the pictures that I showed, after the police had already been in there and then all of a sudden there was bar stools there. I believe the police put them there so the door couldn't be opened. That's not how it was when they first arrived. A lot of lakes around there. He could have ditched the knife right away. Yeah, I think he would have got rid of that right away. He'd be crazy. And don't forget, you guys, he was a law major, okay? So he's got his PhD and all this crap, and it's like it makes me sick. Being part of the legal community, like I said, I practiced as a paralegal under many very prominent lawyers. I did private investigation. I went on to have my own business in process serving, skip tracing. And I mean, this here, seeing, somebody who you would call a colleague do something like this, it's a disgrace. And believe me, all of us, even though I am not, I have now retired, I'm almost 60 years old now, I've long retired. This is still a disgrace to our community for him to do what he did. So it's like a double-edged sword for us, no pun intended there. He may very well have Gray Running Wolf, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. I think he knows enough law to know he's got to get rid of that. He can't hold on to it. Yeah, he had this thing that he pulled up that he said was for a paper that he was doing, and he wanted to know from criminals, how did it feel? How'd you feel, you know, preparing to do your crime? How did you feel afterwards? Was tension released? Like, this was planned. He planned to do, maybe not against these particular group, but he's been planning to do something like this for a long time. Now, I also know verified that he was in the same places as Kaylee and Madison several times. So I do believe that, like I said, like my read said, and I'm sticking with that. I have to trust my what my ancestors have given me, that Kaylee was the target. And even possibly even Maddie, because Maddie and her were like two peas in a pod, always together, right?
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Corporal Brent Miller. I'm the Department PIO for the Pennsylvania State Police. Some little insight for you. After everything's all said and done, we have Commonwealth Media Services, which is the front camera right here. They're going to package everything up for you. That includes the perp walk and all that good video footage. That will be on their website, pacast.com. That's pacast.com. It'll be available approximately 2 hours.
Okay, so it looks like we are going to be getting something in about 2 to 3 hours time. Probably the audio recording and everything of what happened in court. We know exactly what happened. It was pretty quick, but this is going to be a packet that is given out to the news media. I do believe that he's going to get the death penalty. I believe that the prosecution is going to be asking for the death penalty. I believe he did stalk them for some time.
Sound check for the cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This should be getting underway
6, 7,
very
8,
shortly.
9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good? White bounce good? Cool. Okay.
Okay, so
you can find all our offices' contact information if you don't know already on our website, psd.pa.gov. Click on Board Meeting.
okay, so it looks like we're about to get underway here. So once it starts, you guys, I will mute myself. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for watching along with us, for being respectable, and making this a safe place for everybody. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I thank you so much for that. My mods, thank you for keeping things running smoothly. You guys rock. They haven't said Glamady. Absolutely, Amanda. I do believe that Idaho is going to ask for the death penalty, and there's no insanity plea in Idaho. I do believe that he is going to be sent for a psych evaluation, though. Well, you're very welcome, Running Grey Wolf. I want to thank you too for being here and for your input and for your thoughts and your opinions. You may not agree with mine, I may not agree with yours, but as long as it's done respectfully, I have no problem with it. So thank you, each and every one of you, for keeping it that way. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I will be able to translate some of the legal gibberish for you, Mary Michael. With bells on, I will do that for you. Okay, so you can hear them getting ready in the background, you guys, so this should be starting any minute. And I'm really anxious to hear what they're going to say about transport time. Like I said earlier, they're not going to give us the exact time that they're going to transport him for security reasons, but we should have some idea of when he will be back in Idaho. And then that would give me an idea of when I can expect the probable cause affidavit. They're not going to release the probable cause affidavit until he is back in Idaho, even though he waived his extradition. Until he's back in Idaho, we will not get that. So I'm hoping here with what they're going to say here, I hope they give us a little bit of a time frame as to when he's going to be sent back to Idaho. We already know that there's a grand jury indictment. He will have a first appearance where there will be a lawyer put on record. We already know that the lawyer is public defender and Taylor that will be defending him. He will then be arraigned where he will have to enter guilty or not guilty. Then he will be asked if he wants to waive his right to a speedy trial. If he does not, I believe within days a trial date will be set. I can see them, if you want my honest opinion right now before anything else comes out, I believe he is not going to waive his right to a speedy trial. He is going to want to get there, get this done and over with. And what that also does for him, you guys, is now the police have got to scramble to get all the evidence that they can within a very short amount of time. Whereas if he waived his right to a speedy trial, that would give them a lot more time to gather more evidence and get more evidence against them. So I do think that he is not going to waive his right to a speedy trial, and they're going to have to go with what they got and hope for the best. And as a lawyer, that's something that he is going to have going on in his head. It's like the longer I let them have, the more time they're going to have to collect more evidence. So I believe he's going to invoke his right to a speedy trial. He wants his trial. He wants it quick. That's what I think. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm on point there too. That's usually the way they like to do it. Okay, I'm trying to look to see what everybody's saying. Congratulations, Kat. Somebody fill me in. I missed it. Congrats, Kate and Kat. Okay, what happened? Tell me, you guys. I'm scrolling back here, you guys, trying to find what it was that you guys are all congratulating. I can only go back. Hang on. I'm still looking. Okay, I can only go back so far, you guys. Okay, let me go back to the bottom here and see. Oh, they joined. Oh, thank you. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't see when that stuff happens. Green membership badges. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Mary Michaels. She had a baby boy. She was in labor for like 30 hours. And she ended up having to go for an emergency C-section. And he was born New Year's Day. He was 6:34. Okay, here they go, you guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Adam Reed. I'm the Director of the Communications Office with the Pennsylvania State Police. Thank you for joining us here. The order of speakers is going to be our Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner, Colonel Robert Ivanchik, Major Christopher Paris, He's our Area 3 commander. And First Assistant District Attorney, Monroe County, Mike Mancuso. After the speakers have finished, we will then take a handful of questions. Colonel Venchik.
Good afternoon. I'm Colonel Robert Ivanchik, Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. While I monitored the investigation into the horrific murders of the University of Idaho students, I did not imagine the investigation would lead to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. My heart goes out to the families of the victims, their friends, the community of Moscow, and the University of Idaho. No words can heal the pain associated with the loss of a child. Their young lives were ended far too soon. In law enforcement, we understand the best thing we can do for victims and their families is to follow every lead, collect every piece of evidence, and bring those responsible to justice. I am proud of the members of the Pennsylvania State Police who were able to help in this investigation. The cooperative relationship between our local, state, and federal partners stands the test of time. The officers, troopers, and federal agents work together tirelessly, putting in long, difficult hours. Communication and cooperation are imperative to success and to ensure the integrity of the case remains maintained. The culmination of that cooperation ultimately led to take the suspect into custody and afforded the families some sense of peace they deserve. I want to thank the Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, and our partners in the Federal Bureau of Investigation for their support, assistance, and coordination. I also want to recognize the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. And finally, I need to acknowledge the members of the Pennsylvania State Police, specifically members of Troop N, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and our Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations, who assisted in safely taking the suspect into custody in the early morning hours of December 30th. As previously indicated by Chief James Fry of the Moscow Police Department, specific details regarding this investigation cannot be released until the suspect is extradited to Idaho and presented with the probable cause affidavit. At this time, I will turn the microphone over to Major Christopher Paris, Commander of Area 3, who was involved in the coordinated efforts to take the suspect into custody.
Thank you, Colonel. Area 3 comprises troops F, P, N, and R, and is made up of 1,000 approximately of the women and men, civilian and enlisted, in the northeastern part of Pennsylvania. I'd like to introduce to my left Captain Norm Kramer, who's the commander of Troop N Hazelton, which is comprised of Carbon, Monroe, Columbia, and parts of Luzerne counties. I would like to reiterate, as the colonel said, that Idaho law prohibits any release of information contained within the affidavits. So we're going to do our best today to talk about what phase we are currently in the investigation. And it has entered a new phase with the waiver for extradition. And the continuing primary goal is the seeking of justice through successful prosecution and conviction, bearing the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So with that in mind, we're trying to balance essentially two things: the public's desire for information against the need to maintain the integrity of the investigation and protect the suspects, accused at this point's due process. So I'll now attempt to give you an operational picture with the best information I can release at the time. So this begins when the Pennsylvania State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation troopers were contacted by the FBI about assisting with surveillance of the accused in this case. I'd like to take the opportunity to specifically thank several individuals. Special Agent in Charge Jackie McGuire and Assistant Special Agent in Charge Dave Carter from the Philadelphia Field Division, as well as Supervisory Special Agent Bill Vigorito of the Scranton RA. We're very lucky in PSP to have a collaborative relationship with the Bureau, both in Pennsylvania and beyond, and their people are absolutely excellent. So as the investigation progressed, Troop N Criminal Investigation Section, commanded by Captain Kramer over my left shoulder here, began to collaborate with authorities in Idaho. Specifically, I'd like to acknowledge Lieutenant James Curdo, who is here today, Sergeant Anthony Ferdinand, Corporal John Chulak, who is not present with us, and Troopers Leary and Knoll, who are here with us today. It was through this collaboration and the charges pending in Idaho that those troopers were able to obtain search warrants and a fugitive from justice warrant that was prepared here in Monroe County for the location in Chestnut Hill Township and the fugitive from justice warrant for Mr. Kohberger, respectively. I'd like to acknowledge the Monroe County District Attorney, David Christine, as well as First Assistant Mike Mancuso and their entire office. The support that we received was absolutely excellent. Once those warrants were obtained, the Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations, BESO, coordinates our Special Emergency Response Team, CERT. They were selected to serve those warrants, the 3 search warrants and the fugitive from justice warrant. To define what CERT is, it's a full-time tactical team maintained by PSP to deal with high-risk warrant situations, barricades, and other incidents requiring specialized tactical training or other capabilities. From their perspective, we essentially task them to go out and serve a arrest warrant for someone accused of a quadruple murder. They're activated several hundred times a year throughout the Commonwealth. We don't typically hear of their work in a forum like this because they serve the warrant, the person's taken into custody, and they go about their assignment. They are the ultimate professionals. It's a volunteer team. They're highly trained and highly motivated. Captain Norm Kramer over my left shoulder was assigned as the top comm for the CERT activation, which means he was responsible for coordinating our tactical preparations. So tactical assets were then staged in the county, in Monroe County, into the evening of Thursday, December 29th, last Thursday. And in the early hours of Friday, December 30th, those warrants were executed at the location. Mr. Kohberger was taken into custody without incident. The scene was turned over to the FBI Evidence Response Team for processing. Mr. Kohberger was then turned over to the Monroe County Prison, where he has remained in their custody since. I'd like to thank the Monroe County Sheriff and the Stroud Regional Police Department for their support as well during the extradition process. Arrangements currently are being made to deliver Kohberger back to Idaho, where he can have continued due process and face these charges. So it's with that, I will turn it over to First Assistant Mike Mancuso.
Thank you, Major. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Mancuso with the DA's office, the First Assistant District Attorney. I want to give my condolences to the families of the victims out in Idaho for their loss. It's my sincere hope that this marks a clear step in the right direction of effectuating justice for those folks. My office's role was relatively recent. We weren't advised of the presence of the defendant in our county until only a couple days before the apprehension of the defendant. But when we were told, we came together and worked very closely with Captain Kramer, who did an excellent job in almost like a clockwork operation. Part of my duties were to ensure that 3 separate search warrants were issued. Those affidavits attached to those search warrants are still under seal, so I can't discuss their contents with you. But one was for the person of Mr. Kohberger, collecting DNA and photographs, that sort of thing. One was for the white Elantra vehicle, which I understand has been seized and is being processed. And one was for the address, the residence itself that he was living in with his family. I was at the scene, and I have to say that Major Paris and Captain Norm Kramer did an outstanding job in coordinating the efforts, not only of the numerous Pennsylvania State police troopers there, but officers from other jurisdictions and disciplines within those jurisdictions to make this a very smooth, highly competent professional operation. It is a quirk, apparently. It's not in the norm of the states I'm familiar with that Idaho does not release their probable cause affidavit in support of their arrest warrant until after their defendant is brought or returned to that state. But having read those documents and the sealed affidavits of probable cause,
I definitely believe that one of the main reasons the defendant chose to waive extradition and hurry his return back to Idaho was the need to know what was in those documents. So that's a significant development. Beyond that, looking at the scope of the situation and the ties this defendant has to my county, I would hold our office at the disposal of the Idaho authorities to help facilitate a complete background investigation into the defendant, both activities prior to the murders occurring within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and his activities after the murders in Pennsylvania. So we stand ready to assist with that effort on an ongoing basis. Thank you.
We can now open it up for questions.
Can you tell us what state police specifically did, or can you give us any indication as to the operations of state police when you were notified? You talk about putting tactical in the area. How long were they there? And what's the?
We're not in a position to give you an exact time. It was at some point prior to when the surveillance was taken as the investigation progressed to a point where search warrants could be obtained and the probable cause for those search warrants and an arrest warrant, a fugitive from justice warrant based on the arrest warrant out in Idaho were obtained. We began to take the tactical steps to plan to serve them.
Were you collecting evidence prior to his arrest?
At this point, like we said, it's very much pertinent to what's in the affidavits, which we cannot speak about.
What's it about his demeanor when the arrest actually happened?
Present sense impression, as likewise ongoing investigation can't discuss.
How, Rob 69 News, how is Kohberger being transported back to Idaho?
Those arrangements are being discussed right now, as well as the logistics. The court order says, those of you who heard it today, it's within the next 10 days. So we're currently working on that in coordination with authorities out in Idaho. Sir, I can't comment. I don't know.
Is he being held in the Monroe County Jail until he's extradited, or is he removed to another?
No, he is lodged in the, since he was dropped off there Friday morning, he's resided in Monroe County Prison.
Still, until he's
Correct, yes.
extradited, he'll be there by the marshal, or which group?
At this point, that's still being coordinated between the state police and the authorities out there. We don't know.
Will the affidavit be unsealed when he arrives in Idaho?
I don't want to speak out of my lane. When I watched the press conference on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I was alerted to the fact that according to Idaho state law, that the affidavits have to be served to him once he's extradited back before they could be unsealed.
Did he say has anyone else been arrested?
Ongoing investigation.
Has the motive been determined?
I can't comment on that either. I apologize.
Who transports him, sir? Does Pennsylvania State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department?
He's presently back. He was transported from the courthouse by Monroe County Sheriff. And the logistics of who's going to transport him out to Idaho are still being discussed. We don't know yet.
Can you confirm the time of his arrest and how much law enforcement presence there actually was?
I would say it was in the early morning hours of Friday, December 30th. Tactical assets on scene were probably in the neighborhood of 50.
Were you afraid he was going to get tipped off before you got him?
I would say overall about this entire operation, and the credit goes, this is a part that the state police played humbly. You look at Moscow Police Department, 38 sworn, 19,000 leads, the video evidence that they had to develop in order to put that out, all public source information. But when you talk about the service of a high-risk warrant for someone who's committed or alleged to have committed 4 homicides, there's nothing routine about that. And all of those tactical steps that were taken were in conjunction with the best efforts of the authorities, local, state, and federal, both in Idaho and here, to ensure that we could do it safely and to ensure that we could get him into custody and that those service of the search warrants could occur.
Sir, can we ask you a question of the first assistant district attorney? Mr. Mancuso, you described having read to a degree the contents of that affidavit of probable cause, and that you possibly speculated or theorized that he wanted to get back to read that as well, since he can't read that. Can you give us an indication, though, of the seriousness of what you did read? I know you can't talk about it, but can you share with us something?
Yeah, I can't get into the details, sir, but I can say it involved the defendant's connection to a scene of a crime, consisting of 4 murdered people. So that's the significance of it.
Can you confirm that there is a connection between Bryan Kohberger and any of the victims?
I can't discuss that.
How confident are you that he is guilty of these crimes?
That wouldn't be my place to say. Certainly confident enough that there was ample probable cause for the issuance of the various warrants in the case.
What was your reaction when you heard this? You've all talked about, you followed this. This happened states away. When you get that call, or you all get the call, that this person could be right here in your home area, what's your reaction?
Well, I was surprised, really, Monroe County of all places. It hits close to home. It's a normal human reaction, I would think, under the circumstances.
Do you know when he and his father left Idaho or Washington and drove to Pennsylvania, what that date was?
No, I don't know the exact date, ma'am.
Approximately, we understand the middle of December, is that correct?
I think that's approximate.
And what about, we had heard reports that they were stopped not once but twice on the highway. Can you elaborate?
I'll defer to his Pennsylvania public defender on that.
Do you have reason to believe that Kohberger is connected to other crimes and unsolved mysteries in the area?
I wouldn't answer that question at this time.
We start looking at some that may be unsolved, where do you move around?
That would be a normal thing to do.
Question for the PSP here. Said he was taken without incident. Was it safe to say that, I shouldn't say it's safe to say, but did it seem like he was expecting?
I wouldn't comment on what his present sense was. I would just comment that the professionalism of the CERT team and their tactical training definitely proved in a situation like this to do it in the most tactically sound and fastest way possible.
Was there anybody else in the house at the time?
His parents were in the house at the time.
Did they say anything to you?
Again, present sense impression. I can't comment on that ongoing investigation.
Even was on the door.
Force was used. The warrants were issued for evening search warrants, which in Pennsylvania requires additional probable cause in order to serve them at the hours of darkness. I would defer to the first assistant to talk about the legal burden that you bear in order to obtain those. But from a tactical standpoint, based upon all of the briefings that we had developed and all of the intelligence we had developed, we thought that was the best time to serve it.
And what tipped off that Pennsylvania was involved with this?
We were alerted by the FBI. Troopers in the Bureau of Criminal Investigation were alerted.
Anything on like his social media pages that tipped anything?
I can't comment. I don't know.
So that was here, it's been cooperative in this whole process.
Can't comment. Ongoing, like I said. State Police's role here was to serve the warrants and assist with the surveillance, which we've done. We've been part of major investigations. You know, these are men and women who take an oath to protect their communities and the Commonwealth here. We're very humbled with the opportunity that we had, given a case that has really gained international attention to play a small part in it. And our hat is off to Moscow PD again with the size and the complexity of this investigation and the work that they've done to get us here today. And this is only the beginning of the next step.
If it's determined that anyone here in Pennsylvania either helped to conceal or dispose of any evidence, then you would be a part of this case, or would it go?
I would say that we would pledge whatever support we can for ongoing investigations with the Idaho authorities here in Pennsylvania. Absolutely. We would help them in any way we could.
Were there any weapons found in the home?
I don't want to get into what was actually seized in the house pursuant to the evidentiary nature of it.
Can you give any insight into why you all decided to go in overnight to make the arrest?
Those are tactical decisions in terms of base surveillance. I don't want to give out too many tactical factors that go into that situation, but obviously surveillance was conducted and we wanted to go in at a time when we thought it would be the safest for everybody, safest for anybody else in the house, safest for Mr. Kohberger, and safest for our people.
There was an interesting question asked earlier about the care that needed to be taken to not tip the suspect off. Could you describe how long that lid had to be on things and how many people were involved in it? Like how many people knew and for how long?
So I would say, I would answer the question this way. I don't want to get into a timeline in terms of when we were notified by the FBI and when the surveillance began. Obviously, we know on Thursday night into Friday morning is when the warrants were served. I would say, as a credit to the professionals, both standing behind me and others not here, many others not here, the information was held very close. And we did not want to have any situation where Mr. Kohberger potentially would be tipped off. So as a result of that, I would say a close number of approximately 7 to 8 individuals, maybe 10 on the most within the PSP side of this operation knew about it.
And for days, can we say? Or?
I would say for a period of time. I would not feel comfortable commenting any more than that for a period of time. And then as the tactical assets were brought in, people were briefed.
When the movement plan is finally decided, will there be an announcement? Will
Not from the state police, so we would defer to Moscow and the authorities in Idaho.
when he starts leaving Pennsylvania?
Well, we have security concerns now, obviously, to move any prisoner. Anytime you move somebody from a secure prison to another place, we don't want to, there won't be an announcement from the state police in terms of those logistics, but they're being worked on right now.
Can you give us your best guess when you think he might be moved roughly? Tomorrow?
We would like to do it as soon as possible, but the court order says 10 days. We have 10 days to coordinate it.
Can you potentially be on a plane tonight? Is it possible he could be on a plane tonight? That's a possibility, right?
I can't, I would think that's probably not likely.
Private plane, or would you fly commercial?
We're looking into that right now.
Can you confirm or deny that a window was broken in order to gain access into the home?
There were multiple windows that were broken, I believe, to gain access, as well as multiple doors. I think the video of the house after the fact confirms that. And that would all be part of the tactical plan based on the floor plan of the house, et cetera, and what the CERT operators would do to serve those warrants.
Was this suspect on your radar before, and are you looking at any connections?
Wouldn't comment on that based on the ongoing nature.
But how about did he have a criminal past? According to the UJS, I didn't see anything.
Can't comment on it.
Yeah, like I said, they're not going to give an exact time of when he's going to be shipped back, and that's all for security reasons.
Assist in giving a complete background of the defendant?
It's going to take at least an hour for all that paperwork to be done up. So
That'll be the last.
I wouldn't be surprised at all, you guys, if he
In any case of
is
this
going to
nature,
be shipped back tonight.
prosecuted a fair share of homicides, double homicides, that sort of thing. You want to look at any evidence of possible motive. You want to look at any evidence of a pattern, of modus operandi or method. You want to get into the subject's character, mental state to the best you can, that sort of thing. So it'll be an all-encompassing effort, which we stand ready for. Okay. We have our ways.
Yeah, they have 10 days, Gray Running Wolf, but I believe that they're going to get him shipped
Just
out
for a
as
quick
soon as
spelling,
possible.
I'll give everyone the spelling of everyone's name. It was included in the media advisory, but just so we have it.
Okay, so I don't know. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, can you guys still hear me? Okay, so that just cut out. Can you guys hear me now? Press 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I can show you my screen. It just said the Pennsylvania State Police, it's ended. So I guess they were just going to give out the correct spelling of all of their names, etc. Let me just mark this. So I have it. Because there's going to be more that is brought out regarding this, you guys. So I want to make sure that I still got this link. Okay. So there we have it, you guys. He is going to be extradited back. They're not going to give us, you're very welcome, Fran, and thank you. They're not going to give us an exact time and date, like I said, for security reasons. But I would not be surprised if police are already there waiting to take him back. Okay, let me just get rid of this here. Okay. But they're not going to tell us that, right? I think they're going to want to get him back to Idaho ASAP, get him in front of the judge, get him arraigned, and get him locked up out there. Like I said, it's just my guess, but I do not think he's going to waive his right to a speedy trial. So hopefully, with that, this trial hopefully will go through fairly quickly. If he doesn't waive his right to a speedy trial, then the trial has to be held within 90 days. The trial date has to be set. So, in a way, it's like, do we want the police to have a little bit more time to gain more information, or do we want them to go with everything they have now? You know what I mean? So, it's a catch-22. But I do believe he's not going to waive his right to a speedy trial. He wants to exonerate himself. I think he's going to think if he gets this trial date set quickly, that the police will not be able to get much more evidence in that short of time, and that he thinks that he's going to be able to exonerate himself. So with that cockiness already, I do think that within 90 days, we're going to have a trial date. Unless his lawyers can convince him otherwise, I do believe that the prosecution is going to say they're going for the death penalty, which is an even bigger case to prepare for. So that is that, you guys. I don't want to keep you guys any longer than is necessary. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank each and every one of you for having faith and always supporting us over here. My mods, you guys are awesome. Thank you for taking care of chat and making sure things are run smoothly and kept on track. You guys are the best. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope the arrest warrant. No, Glamady, they said that once he is back in Idaho, he has his first appearance, that is the probable cause is going to be, affidavit is going to be released. They are not planning on holding it at all. So that's a good thing. We're going to get a lot more information from that. I'm anxious to see it because so much of my reads have already come to light, and I just want to see how much more is there. Okay, so please, you guys, be vigilant when you are out and about, and just keep an eye. Keep an eye. You never know what is going to happen. Okay, I want you guys all to stay safe. So as soon as I get any more information, you guys, I will jump back online. I've got a few other things I'm going to put in the community tab. We got a few things coming up shortly this month. Let me just get my calendar here. The 11th, on Wednesday, the 11th, we've got Leilani Simon, the mother of Quentin Simon, who was found deceased and thrown into the landfill. She has a court appearance on Wednesday, the 11th. The Delphi murders, Friday the 13th of January, Friday the 13th. He is going to be back in court. He wants a gag order and he wants a change of venue. We are expecting something from Letitia Stout case also coming up. Also on the 19th of January, we have Lori Vallow. They have a motions day set. We know right now that she, I guess, is being evaluated yet again. Their trial is set to start in April. It was moved from January 9th to April. So we got a whole bunch that's going to be going on over the next couple of months. And we're going to stay on top of it. As well as I want to get out some new reads, you guys. I've been asked, there's some recent cases that have happened over the last month that I've been asked to do reads on. I'm going to do my best to get those done too, and also keep up with everything that's going on with this Idaho case also. So please bear with me, you guys. I got 4 days to catch up on. I'm doing my best, and you guys are just great, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all the congratulations regarding the birth of my grandson. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I love you guys so much for that. So yes, his name is Ivan. Again, this will probably, sometimes they go private, sometimes they don't, you guys, at the end of the live, because I use StreamYard. So sometimes it takes a bit before it's made available again on YouTube. So if it does go private, know that it will be back up for all of yous to see. I will do that, Spirit Moon. I will give Tina a big hug from all of yous. And as soon as any information comes up on any of these cases that we're following, you guys know any cases that I do reads on, I follow right through to the court process. I try to explain the best I can in simple terms so everybody can understand it. For those of you who don't know any legal terms and stuff, I try to do my best to make it understandable for you all. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for being here for the last 2 hours. Thank you for sharing this with us. And let's wait and see what happens. And if anything does pop off, know that I will be right back on here bringing it all to you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please give this video a like. Helps get it out there and helps keep me going and shows your appreciation. So thank you so very much, you guys. Until the next time, please take care of yourselves and please stay safe. Love you to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.